Welcome. In front of me is a Motorola Edge 60 Pro, and I'll be going over unboxing along with a quick look at the device and its specifications. So anyway, let's just get straight into it. We do have two seals to cut through to get into the box. There we go. Ooh. I like that. Scented boxes. It's something that just Motorola has, which is pretty nice. Anyway, in here we have a charging cable, SIM ejector, paperwork, and a hard case, or hard shell case. It looks like I do need to just rip it apart probably. Unfortunately, I just hate doing that. And I'm gonna do everything to prevent that. Come on, there we go. Sweet. So the case looks like it's recycled plastic and green. Then we get the phone itself. So I can just do this. There we go. And okay, there's nothing else here. Ooh, there is though more nice perfume smell. So, booting it up, we'll see the display in a second, which is a 6.7-inch P-OLED display with 120 Hz refresh rate, HDR10 Plus certification, and a peak brightness of 4500 nits of brightness with a resolution of 1220 by 2712 pixels. So it is a pretty decent display right here, covered with the glass being corner Gorilla Glass 7i. So there we go. Also boasting 444 pixels per inch and 92.2% screen to body ratio, which is a pretty nice display. Unfortunately, there's no pre-applied screen protector, and also for some people this will be probably a deal breaker. It is a curved display, you can see, which I know some people just don't like that. I do like it for gesture navigation, just feels so nice, but I understand that some people will not. But in general, the device looks pretty nice. And flipping it over to the back, we have what feels like a rubberized back. I don't think this is supposed to be even like a leather or whatever. What do they say? Actually, it doesn't say anything about it. Okay, so maybe at the box we'll have, nope, nothing here. Oh, let's see here. This is Pantone Shadow Green. Okay, doesn't really tell me much. It doesn't state if it's like supposed to be a eco leather or something like that, but it's definitely not like a normal plasticky feeling. So it does have like some rubbery feel to it. Now, in terms of the cameras that we have right here, we have triple, and two of the cameras are 50 megapixel. One is f1.8 aperture, 24mm wide lens. The other one is f2.0 aperture, 120 degree ultra wide lens. And then we also have a 10 megapixel of 2.0 aperture, 73mm telephoto lens. And with those cameras, you can record videos up to 4K at 30 frames, and 1080p gets you up to 60 with slow motion of 120 and 240. And then at the front, and this hole punch camera, we have another 50 megapixel f2.0 aperture wide sensor that does 4K 30 and 1080p 30 with slow motion of 120. That is a very odd choice. But unfortunately, it's not doing 1080p 60, even though the processor is capable of doing so, as it is doing it on the back camera, which is also a 50 megapixels. So not sure what the reasoning here is. Now, if we move over into the internals, I do want to, before I start talking about the specifications, touch upon the fact that this device is relatively compact. Now, it's not like small. For instance, if I were to grab like S25, that would be a much smaller device compared to this one, but it's also not like a huge brick in your hand. It's fairly slim. It's also not as wide, I would say, so it has more of like a longer design to it in terms of the just screen. But it is a smaller phone, I would say. 6.7 inch, which is primarily just kind of in length or width, depending on how you look at it. So I'm pointing that out because this device houses a 6,000 mAh battery with a 90 watt of wired charging capability and 15 watts wireless. So small phone, but it has still 6K battery. Now I don't need to check, I already know that this will most certainly be a silicon carbon, sorry, battery. And yep, taking a look, I am correct. And the reason that is, the silicon carbon can be a much smaller battery, while, or more like, have the same battery size, physical size, but it can store way more charge. So that's why instead of, for instance, it being 5,000 milliamp, it's now 6,000. So I get nicer battery right here. And just to kind of point that out, this is a bigger battery than what, for instance, Samsung Galaxy S25 Ultra has, while size-wise being a noticeably smaller phone. So yeah. Now, additionally, the device is being powered by a Dimensity 8350 processor and comes with 8 and up to 12 gigabytes of RAM. So it is a pretty fast device. Now, I do want to quickly check something. I want to check how it stacks up against the this processor stacks up against the 8 Elite processor from Qualcomm. And oh boy, it doesn't stack up all that well. Okay, so I now won't have a bit of an objective opinion about this because I just saw the performance of this device and the price of it. And they are, well, grossly overestimating how much this device is worth. So let's just finish up the specifications. So we have 256 gigs with 8 gigs of RAM storage right here, UFS 4.0 in the type, and you can get 256 with 12 and 512 with 12 gigs of RAM. So no expandable storage as well. Now it's running Android 15 right now, which is, I believe, the newest one, or Android 16 might be the newest one, but I don't think it's out on most devices just yet, so I'm gonna say that this is the newest Android anyway. And yeah, so last thing to say is the price, which this device comes at about $1,000 for some insane reason. Now I do need to check this, double check it, just because it just seems like a little bit too much. And I do want to be absolutely certain that that Motorola isn't just snorting something. Okay, great. There is no price right here. Bear with me while I'm dealing with crappy. Okay, no. So GSM Arena doesn't have a correct price. While stating that it costs $1,000, it's closer to like half of that. So it costs 650, about 650 US dollars. So that is going to be a closer price, and that actually makes this device a bit more enticing. The processor in here is not flagship grade, kind of as a comparison to something like the 8 Elite processor. It's definitely slower, but we're talking about just differences of like 20% of performance of the 8 Elite lower, so 20 lower percentage. So it's still stupid fast processor that will get you through everything that you need at basically half the price of what phones with the 8 Elite come at, and still offering some really nice things like a very good display right here, big battery, fast charging, faster than any kind of Samsung would offer, and in general it's actually it seems to be a pretty decent phone for the price that it that they are asking for it. So yeah, it's at about $600. This seems to be a very solid phone. And it has a nice smell. Something about it just so nice, unboxing Motorola devices that just come with this nice scent. So yeah, one more thing, obviously the phone comes with its own case provided, so that's also pretty cool. So one last thing that I want to say is, if you're looking for maybe a bit more budget device that is still plenty powerful, I would also recommend checking out the very newly released CMF Phone 2. Now it will be much more budget feeling phone, but it still offers a pretty decent specifications for a phone, also coming with a AMOLED display, big battery, decent charging if I remember correctly, and a little bit slower processor than this, but I also want to point out it costs a third of what this cost. So that phone will cost you about $200. This is about $600. So we have a massive jump down with the only thing that you would be sacrificing for the most part is the more premium kind of feeling phone. So yeah, and if you're looking for something that is budget, I believe that this is a very adequate thing to sacrifice while still having a very fast phone. But in any case, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.